Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once. Practice question. There is one practice question. Listen to a short conversation. The passage will be played once. Then, listen to the question and choose the best answer.
Hey, you look concerned. What's on your mind?
The final exam. I am not fully prepared yet.
Don't worry too much. You still have 3 days.
Yeah, but 3 days will fly past in a wink.
Well, you still have time to cram things in your brain anyway.
Why is the man looked worried?
Listening test part 1. You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Listen to the conversation. You will hear the conversation only once. It is about 1 to 1.5 minutes long.
Hey Raymond, did you hear that the cafeteria in our office is closing for renovation starting next Monday?
Yeah, I heard about it this morning. It's going to be shut down for almost 2 weeks, right?
That's right. I'm really going to miss it. I eat there almost every day. Now I have to start thinking about lunch again.
Same here. I usually just go down there without a second thought. This changes everything.
So, have you thought about what you're going to do? Bringing lunch from home isn't ideal for me. I barely have time in the mornings.
Yeah, me neither. I was actually thinking about organizing some kind of group takeout plan. It might be easier and cheaper if we order together.
That's smart. We could even set up a daily schedule. Maybe one person coordinates each day's lunch order.
Exactly. That way it's fair, and we don't waste time trying to decide last minute.
Plus, if we order from the same few places, we could probably negotiate a group discount or free delivery.
Good point. And we can keep a shared document with menus and preferred orders. Makes it quick and simple.
Let's bring it up at today's meeting. I'm sure other people are stressed about this too.
Absolutely. I'll even draft a quick plan to show how it might work.
Question 1. Why are Cindy and Raymond concerned about lunch? Question 2. What solution does Raymond suggest? Question 3. What do they plan to do next? You will hear the second section of the conversation shortly.
So I looked up a few places we could order from. There's a sandwich shop, a Thai place, and a salad bar just a few blocks away.
Nice. Do all of them deliver?
The sandwich shop and the Thai place both offer delivery during lunch hours. The salad bar is pickup only, but it's fast.
That's good to know. I think rotating between them could keep things interesting too.
I agree. I also checked their menus. There's something for everyone, even vegetarian and gluten-free options.
That's perfect. We should definitely consider dietary needs for the team. No point leaving anyone out.
Exactly. And maybe once or twice a week we could walk to the salad bar. It would give us a quick break from our desks.
I like that idea. If we time it right, it won't eat into our lunch break too much.
I'll create a short survey to ask the team about preferences, allergies, and who's up for pickup runs.
Sounds good. Once we know what people want, we can make a proper schedule.
And we could keep a shared calendar or even a group chat for updates each day.
Perfect. That way, we're all in the loop and things stay organized.
Question 4. What are Cindy and Raymond doing in this conversation? Question 5. What is a benefit of the salad bar? Question 6. What step does Cindy suggest taking? You will hear the third section of the conversation shortly.
Okay, I've compiled the survey results. Most people prefer the sandwich shop and Thai place, and a few people want the occasional salad bar visit.
That's great. Were there any strong preferences or restrictions we need to watch out for?
Just a couple of vegetarian requests and one person with a nut allergy. Shouldn't be too hard to accommodate.
Good to know. Did anyone volunteer to help with pickups?
Yes, for people said they'd rotate. I've already drafted a schedule with one pickup person per day.
That's perfect. And I'll take care of printing it and putting it on the break room board.
Also, I set up a group chat for sharing menus and reminding people who's up next.
Great idea. Communication will be key to keeping this smooth.
All right, I'll email the plan and schedule to everyone this afternoon. Hopefully it helps reduce the stress.
Thanks so much, Raymond. I think this will actually make lunch a bit more fun, even without the cafeteria.
Let's just hope the renovations don't take longer than expected.
Fingers crossed. But at least we've got a solid backup in place now.
Question 7. What did Raymond find in the survey? Listening Test Task 2. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question. Listen to the conversation. You will hear the conversation only once. It is about 1.5 to 2 minutes long.
Hey Jamie, have you checked the chore list for today? Mom wants everything done before dinner.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm not really looking forward to vacuuming the living room though.
I don't mind vacuuming if you want to swap and do the dishes. I hate scrubbing those plates.
That sounds good. But only if you help me take out the trash after.
Deal. By the way, did you notice the laundry basket? It's overflowing again.
I know. Laundry is my least favorite chore. But yeah, it's my turn this week.
Maybe if we finish everything quickly, we can watch the new movie tonight.
That would be awesome. And maybe Mom will order pizza if we do a good job.
Pizza sounds perfect. Okay, I'll start on the dishes and you take out the trash.
After that, I'll start the laundry. Don't forget to water the plants later, you always forget.
You're right, remind me then. Also, don't forget bathroom cleaning on Saturday.
I won't. Let's just hope we don't end up doing everything last minute again.
Definitely. Teamwork makes chores easier, right?
Absolutely. Let's get to it.
Question 1. What task does Jamie agree to do instead of vacuuming? Question 2. What chore does Jamie dislike the most? Question 3. What do the siblings hope to do after finishing their chores? Question 4. Which of the following is Alex responsible for remembering? Question 5. When do Alex and Jamie plan to clean the bathroom? Listening Test Task 3. You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question. Listen to the conversation. You will hear the conversation only once. It is about 2 to 2.5 minutes long.
Hey Julia, do you have a second to go over the client proposal?
Sure, Ryan. Is something wrong with it?
Not wrong exactly. I just think we should rework the timeline. The client asked for delivery by mid-July.
Mid-July? That's 2 weeks earlier than we planned. Can we even meet that deadline?
I think so, but we'd need to shift a few tasks around and maybe get approval for some overtime.
Okay. What about design? They're usually the bottleneck.
I spoke with Diana yesterday. She said her team could finish a week early if we finalize the specs today.
That helps. I'll talk to Dev and see if they can move up testing.
Great. Also, are you okay presenting the changes in tomorrow's call?
Sure, I'll prep something this afternoon.
Thanks, that saves me time. Just make sure to include the revised delivery schedule and key milestones.
Will do. Do you think we should mention the possible overtime?
Maybe keep it as a backup option unless they ask. No need to raise concerns unless we have to.
Agreed. Are we still on track for the budget?
Mostly, yes. But we may go slightly over if we approve extra hours for the QA team.
I'll flag that in the summary. It's better to be transparent.
Good idea. Also, do you think we should loop in procurement now or wait?
Loop them in now. If we need new tools or licenses, they'll need a heads up.
Okay, I'll draft an email after lunch. Let's make sure everything's finalized by end of day.
Sounds like a plan. Want to do a quick sync at 3:30.
Perfect. I'll bring the updated budget doc too.
Awesome. Let's aim to wrap the prep by 5.
Agreed. Thanks, Julia.
No problem. Let's get it done.
Question 1. What is the main topic of the conversation? Question 2. Why does Julia express concern about the project deadline? Question 3. What does Ryan say about the design team's timeline? Question 4. What will Julia do in preparation for the client call? Question 5. Why does Ryan want to contact the procurement team early? Question 6. When do Ryan and Julia plan to meet again to finalize preparations? Listening Test Task 4. You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu. Listen to the following news item. You will hear the news item only once. It is about 1.5 minutes long.
This week, world leaders gathered in Geneva for a high-level summit aimed at addressing the escalating climate crisis. Representatives from over 80 countries, including the United States, China, Germany, and India, were in attendance. The summit comes amid rising global temperatures and an increase in extreme weather events, including devastating wildfires, floods, and droughts, all of which are becoming more frequent and severe. The main focus of the summit was to encourage countries to adopt stricter carbon emission regulations and to invest in green energy technologies such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. Several nations pledged to reach net zero emissions by 2050, while others, including some developing countries, emphasized the need for financial support from wealthier nations to help them transition to more sustainable energy sources without compromising economic development. In addition to national commitments, the summit featured a session on innovative climate solutions. Scientists, environmental organizations, and technology firms presented new ideas ranging from advanced carbon capture systems to large-scale reforestation projects and climate-resilient agriculture. These proposals aimed not only to reduce emissions but also to help communities adapt to already unavoidable changes in climate patterns. Notably, a group of young activists from around the world delivered an impassioned speech. They expressed frustration at the slow pace of progress and called on governments to act with urgency, reminding attendees that today's decisions will shape the world future generations inherit. The event concluded with a joint declaration that recognized the urgent need for global collaboration. While the declaration is not legally binding, experts believe it sends a strong political message. It signals that the international community is becoming more united in addressing one of the most pressing challenges of our time.
Listening Test Task 5. You will listen to a 2 minutes video. Then 8 questions appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
Why is it that a bill banning abortions after a woman has been pregnant for 6 weeks is not a return to the Dark Ages? What's your answer?
My answer is something called science. Human life exists at conception. It ought to be protected. Now, back to my question to you. You purport to be an objective journalist. BBC purports to be an objective down-the-middle network. It obviously is not. It never has been. And you, as a journalist, are proceeding to call one side of the political aisle ignorant, barbaric, and sending us back to the Dark Ages. Why don't you just say that you're on the left? Is this so hard for you? Why can't you just be honest?
Mr.
Seriously,
Shapiro,
it's a serious question.
Mr. Shapiro, if you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it. I just asked you a question.
And I asked you a question. You failed to answer a single one of mine. Frankly, I find this whole thing a waste of time. If you want to read the book and critique the book, why don't you read and critique the book? If you want to critique me, you can think whatever you want of me.
Why don't you
frankly,
just try and
I don't
answer
care.
the
I don't frankly give a damn what you think of me since I've never heard of you.
And I've never heard of you until I briefed myself for this. But that's not the issue. You have a
then
new
why the hell
book
are you
out,
interviewing
and
me,
it's an interesting book. But my point is, your book claims that
well, it'd be
society...
nice if you would quote it from time to time.
Your book is... Well, actually, I've done so several times, and I'm about to do so again, if you would let me just finish the question. Your book
frankly, I don't
claims
think
that society
honestly,
is turning its back
sir,
on Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah,
what are those values? What are the values it's turning its back on?
I'm not inclined to continue an interview with a person as badly motivated as you as an interviewer. So I think we're done here. I appreciate your time, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and for showing that anger is not part of American political discourse. Now, Mr. Shapiro, we'll say goodbye.
Listening Test Task 6. You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu. Listen to the following report. You will hear the report only once. It is about 3 minutes long.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending this session. Today, I'm presenting a report on the impact of electric vehicles, or EVs, on urban transport infrastructure. As we know, electric vehicles have become increasingly popular in recent years due to growing environmental concerns, government incentives, and advances in battery technology. But how exactly are they impacting our cities' transportation systems? Let's begin with the positive effects. First, EVs produce zero tailpipe emissions, which has a direct impact on urban air quality. In cities like Oslo and Vancouver, studies have shown that as EV adoption increases, nitrogen dioxide levels have decreased noticeably. This improvement in air quality contributes to public health and lowers healthcare costs. Secondly, EVs are generally quieter than internal combustion engine vehicles. This reduction in noise pollution is especially beneficial in dense urban areas, improving overall livability. Now, let's consider the infrastructure challenges. One major issue is the demand for charging stations. Urban areas often lack the space to install sufficient public charging infrastructure. Moreover, older apartment buildings may not be equipped for at-home EV charging. As a result, cities must invest in upgrading the electrical grid and incorporating EV charging into urban planning. There's also the issue of traffic patterns and road use. While EVs reduce emissions, they don't reduce congestion. In fact, some evidence suggests that cheaper running costs may encourage people to drive more often, potentially increasing traffic. Additionally, electric buses and delivery trucks are growing in number. This shift requires municipalities to rethink how loading zones, bus depots, and maintenance centers are managed. For instance, electric buses need overnight charging facilities, which constrain existing infrastructure. Lastly, we must consider equity and access. Lower-income residents may struggle to afford EVs or lack access to charging infrastructure. Without thoughtful policy, the transition to electric mobility could widen existing inequalities. In conclusion, while EVs offer substantial environmental benefits, they also require significant changes to urban infrastructure. City planners, policymakers, and utility companies must work together to ensure a smooth and equitable transition. Thank you.